Hello there, my name is Hepodix and welcome to my top 10 ultimate abilities for Overwatch video. Ultimate abilities are a big part of Overwatch's gameplay, so I'm here to list down the ultimates that I think have the biggest impact on the game overall. But quick note before I start the list. I want to clarify that every ultimate ability in Overwatch are useful in a way or another, so I don't think any of them are bad, but rather some of them stand out more than others. Hope you enjoy the video. Genji's ultimate Dragon Blade is one of the more advanced typed ultimates, as it activates his deadly sword to deal out massive damage. Genji deals 120 damage per swing and the Dragon Blade lasts 6 seconds, so during that time period he can do some devastating damage. And when you add Swift Strike to the mix, his mobility increases by a lot as well. However, Genji's Dragon Blade requires good timing and works as a high risk, high reward type of ultimate, so in order to get the maximized potential, it needs some trial and error, no doubt. D.Va's ultimate has a two-way function in it where Call Mech simply summons new mech for D.Va if the enemy destroys her machinery. While mounted to her mech, D.Va can self-destruct, which has an amazing 1000 damage and 20 meter explosion radius, and she can call mech immediately after self-destructing. But what makes self-destruct hard to hit is the fact that it has a 3-second duration before exploding and enemy heroes can simply go behind a corner to avoid the damage, so it usually requires third-party cooperation in order to get the maximized effort out of self-destruct. Hanzo's ultimate Dragon Strike is another really devastating ultimate that deals 200 damage per second. Dragon Strike also has an infinity travel distance, goes through walls, and with its 4 meter radius, Hanzo can execute multiple targets when aimed from a good position. However, Dragon Strike doesn't damage turrets, teleporters, or any kind of traps or mines, and in order to truly utilize the ultimate's maximum potential, it works best when paired with crowd control ultimates such as Zarya's Graviton Surge. Ana's ultimate, Nano Boost, is an interesting addition to the ultimates category as it delivers new strategies and possibilities within different situations. With its 8-second duration, Ana will boost one of her allies who will get 50% attack damage, 50% damage reduction and 30% movement speed. Because of the 50% damage reduction, Nano Boost is usually given to one of the tanks since they become very hard to kill and also deals a lot of damage, but it can work out quite well with Genji, for example, when the timing and synergy between the two players meet their mark. Mei and her ultimate Blizzard is an amazing crowd control and zoning tool when fighting for the objective. Even though Blizzard only deals 100 damage within its 5-second duration, it has the huge 10 meter radius and the fact if enemy stays in the zone too long, they will be frozen solid, which opens up easy kill possibilities for yourself and for the rest of the team. And when it's about stalling overtime or trying to stay alive, it's no doubt Mei and her kit altogether that makes her hard to kill but offers great utility and crowd control tools altogether. Reaper and his ultimate Death Blossom is a quite deadly area and effect ultimate that can deal tons of damage to nearby enemies with its 3-second duration. What makes this ultimate so effective is that it has a moderate 8 meter radius when active, does over 500 damage, and you can move back and forth during the ultimate, so it's quite easy to execute when timed correctly. Reaper can also shadow step to a good spot in order to set up his ultimate, and if in a pinch he can just wraith form away and collect some souls to restore health while at it, which all combined makes Reaper's Death Blossom one of the most effective ultimate abilities. Zenyatta's ultimate Transcendence is the most efficient form of healing source that the current game has to offer. Zenyatta heals 300 health per second within 10 meter radius and it lasts 6 seconds, adding up to a total of 1800 health. And not only the insane healing, Zenyatta himself becomes immune to damage and moves twice as fast during Transcendence, so he can guaranteedly save all of his allies in most situations. However, he can be still crowd controlled, which can be even deadly in some maps, but overall the healing and the stats are so high that it can save teams when in a teamfight or bad situation altogether. Zarya and her ultimate, Graviton Surge, is another interesting yet awesome ability to achieve those massive AoE combinations. While it only does a whoppy 22 damage, it lasts 4 seconds and gravitates players towards the bomb center, which allows allies to combo their AoE attacks or ultimates such as Pharah's Barrage works well with Zarya's ultimate. It naturally requires good timing and strategy to get as many stacked to this gravity bomb, but the downside is that certain heroes can escape this ultimate if they have their needed cooldowns available, like Tracer for example can just recoil away from Graviton Surge, leaving her totally unharmed. Mercy's ultimate, Resurrect, is no doubt one of the most game-breaking abilities when it comes to extreme situations and large-scale teamfights overall. You've most likely seen a scenario where you think you've eliminated the enemy team and suddenly Mercy arrives to turn the tide of the battle. That being said, Resurrect has one of the biggest impacts in Overwatch and only requires 1 second to cast. Also, with its 50-meter range, you're guaranteed to rescue most of the dead allies unless they are extremely scattered around the map. And the fact you can fly next to the corpses by using Guardian Angel makes the ultimate easier to use instead of Mercy getting super easily caught and killed immediately. Reinhardt's ultimate, Earthshatter, has the biggest impact in Overwatch in my opinion when it comes down to different ultimate abilities. He stuns all enemies within a 20-meter cone in front of him, dealing 50 damage, and the stun lasts 2.5 seconds, which altogether is amazing crowd control and initiate tool for your team. Even though some enemies can block this ultimate by shielding for example, it's the fact that once you get caught in Earthshatter, you'll stay on the ground and are most likely killed on the spot when comboed by your allies. And after using the stun, Reinhardt himself can also do a great pressure by using Fire Strike for extra leash, or swinging his hammer, which overall made me come up with this decision and nominate the Earthshatter as the best ultimate in Overwatch. Alright, so that covers up the top 10 ultimate abilities in Overwatch, hope you enjoyed. If you did enjoy, please like this video, comment and subscribe for more Overwatch, League of Legends and other gaming related videos to come, as I mostly focus on top 10 type of videos. That's it for this time, my name is Hepodix and have a nice day.